Hi all, welcome to another episode of BERKPerformance. And when I told Oleg, my cameraman, that we had a Seat Leon Cupra coming to the shop, he was immediately excited to film this car because it's one of his favorites. And why? Because it just looks better than a Golf. It is a little bit more sporty, and I think it's that little bit more special, also with the little elements like these colors and everything, compared to a Golf. And of course, because you don't see them as often as a Golf, I think this car deserves some positive attention. So, the first modification. The owner decided to do a big brake upgrade on this Seat Leon. And that is a very good one, because the stock brakes, they are not very sufficient, especially when you know what kind of gains you can expect when tuning these vehicles. He has fitted Porsche brakes on this car, and maybe you can see it from this point. There is like literally no clearance at all between the brakes and the wheels, but it has been aligned in a proper way, so they fit, they don't touch each other. Of course, with spacers, otherwise the wheel will just not fit the brake calipers and the brake discs and everything. But this is a very good upgrade, and I really do like it. Next one, and that is all underneath the hood. The racing line intake. This car has been fitted with the racing line intake. It has been fitted with a bigger turbo inlet pipe. It has been fitted with a catless downpipe, and it has been fitted with the intercooler upgrade of Wagner Tuning. It is just the full package that has been applied to this car. And this is the way how I, as a tuner, would tune my own vehicle as well. Not only software and expecting a lot of power and that it will stay consistent. No, with the right upgrades, the car will deliver consistent power delivery, more power, more reliability, and you will enjoy it at its absolute most. By the way, with regards to which stage has been tuned, so what stage did we do on this vehicle, we call this a stage 2 plus setup. That requires the downpipe and the intercooler to be changed, which will get you to a stage 2 plus setup. So as for the power figures, this car was producing 390 horsepower and approximately 500 Newton meters of torque on 98 raw fuel. And of course, you're curious what kind of Dragy results that will lead into. Well, you can see them right now.
100. 200.
200. So with regards to the software, we have absolutely calibrated this car to its maximum potential also for this turbocharger on the fueling that we're using. It's not only the ECU and all the little perks that we calibrated into them, like the safety features for the oil temperature, boost control, that it is not giving too much boost when the oil is cold, for example. There are a lot of thermal tweaks that we adjust in the software as well, but also with regards to the DSG transmission. This is the DQ250 DSG transmission. It's a 6-speed, and also we deleted the auto upshift in the manual mode, because this car is shifting at approximately 6,500 RPM when stock, and also auto upshifting when in manual. You just don't want that. So we deleted the kick down functionality in manual mode so that it becomes a true manual, and it will just not upshift if you don't want it in manual mode. That's how it's supposed to be. With regards to not only the power, with regards to the whole calibration, we think about making every little adjustment absolutely perfect, so that the car will not only be fast, but also from a driver perspective, it will be a lot of fun, and that you will know like, okay, I've got really something special under my bottom right now to drive with. As for the dyno numbers, I think I made a mistake in the intro, but this car is producing, in the end, not 390 horsepower, but 380 horsepower, 492 Newton meters of torque. This platform is huge. There are a lot of people that are driving the 2.0 TSI engine and tune them and have like a million types of dynos where they're testing. One is claiming about 400 horsepower, the other one is claiming something else. These cars should be able to make around 390 horsepower and 98 round view with the hardware setup that this car has. But is also dependent on the mileage of the car. This car has done 150,000 kilometers, that's almost 100,000 miles on the vehicle, which will influence, of course, the end results that you can expect with regards to the power. As you can see, start with the stock numbers. The blue line is the stock measurement, and we measured the car to 378 Newton meters of torque when stock and approximately 302 horsepower, which makes perfect sense. The car should do around 350 Newton meters and 280 horsepower, but we measured it with the hardware upgrades in place. So with the intercooler, with all the things that I mentioned already. And you can see that the RPM limiter kicks in very early, around 6,000, what was it, 6,700 RPM. The RPM limiter kicks in. And that's also something that we changed. As for the tuned map, you can see that the torque is slowly building up, especially this is a front wheel driven car. It is possible, theoretically, we also have a map like that, to have like flat torque from 2,500 RPM, that you have 500 Newton meters here where the arrow is, and then it builds down or slowly builds down towards the end. But it is not really beneficial for the driving of the vehicle itself. So it's better to have a building up torque slowly, approximately around 500 Newton meters at its peak, around 4,000 RPM. And top range power 380 horsepower on the 98 ROM fuel mapping. And as you can see, the RPM limiter that we raised as well. So it's possible to do around 7,200 RPM with this engine, which is a little bit too much, of course. But the ideal shifting point is around 6,900 RPM. Then you gain the best results also for the Dragy numbers. Really respectable results, really respectable gain in comparison to the stock numbers. And I think this car with the front wheel driven setup will go like stink. Before getting into any kind of driving experience, let's you know what you can film right now. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you, because look at the gas prices that we are going to pay here in the Netherlands right now for 98 ROM fuel. I will just fill it up with 50 euros. I think that will mean just one little stripe that we'll get here. But just have a look at that, okay? Yeah, so let's have a look at how cheap the gas prices are. Oh, it is a little bit cheaper, because yesterday or a few days before I filled it up for €2.90. Now it's okay, it's affordable. €2.70 per liter. Look at this, like 50 euros. That's like not even 20 liters. Yeah, that's just enough for the review. So, let's see what the oil temp is right now. So we also have some kind of safety features already incorporated in the software, that you don't get full boost when the oil temperature is below X amount. And the oil temperature right now is 67 degrees, so it's not fully warmed up yet, but yeah, let's see. So what is really nice is that we also tuned the DSG transmission with some proper DSG software. Also with regards to DSG and naming conventions. Let me talk about naming conventions, because everyone has their own type of methodology about what is a stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gearbox tune for DSGs. It just doesn't make any sense. Just tune it in one way and make it good. And that's exactly what we do, to be honest. I mean, why would you tune the DSG gearbox with not all the benefits already incorporated in them. You know, I don't do over-exaggerated stuff to the gearbox. I just make it work better, cope with the power. So raising the torque limiters, raising the RPM limiter, raising the shifting points in D and in S mode, removing the kick down functionality in manual mode, removing the upshift functionality in manual mode. The clamping is not really necessary, to be honest. I see that a lot of times, but it's not necessary. The reason why clamping is enforced is because when the ECU software is not calibrated in a proper way, the DSG gearbox doesn't know how much torque is coming in. Then you have to increase the clamping force and everything, otherwise it will start slipping because the torque is manipulated. But if you're not manipulating the torque and everything is properly calibrated, then you don't even need to do that, unless you're really aiming for very high torque applications, which we are not doing with this setup right now. The shifting speed is a little bit improved, so that's all like the DSG tune that I offer. If you really want to specify your shift points and everything to specific wishes, of course that will be an extra, but I already do what I think is right for this car. What I really do like about the Cupra, or the Cupra, is that it is a very fun car to drive. So yeah, oh yeah, the handling. The grip on the road, the handling of the vehicle, it is just a very busy car in a good way. It's not nervous, but it wants to be driven hard all the time, which I really do like. It's a very fun car. It is giving a lot of feedback. Let me shift back. Pop. Yeah, this car shifts. And the brakes, these are the Porsche brakes. They are just absolutely fantastic. Wow. You know, and this is one of the best sounding 2.0 TSIs that I ever had in the shop. The sound is really good. Do you hear that? What do you think, Oleg? Like, you like the Cupra already, we know that.
It's better than Golf.
It is better, right?
Yeah.
And it is also more sporty. It is a really cool car to drive. And like, you know, this car does like 9.5 seconds, 100 to 200 or something. Look at this. 7,200 RPM. It just goes. The only thing is it has 150k on the clock, so it is a little bit slower than others, but it's not a slow car at all. It's like a 9-second car, 100 to 200, and that is very fast already. I will not do any launch controls with this vehicle because I don't feel like breaking the DSG transmission or doing any harm to it. It just doesn't make sense. You have a front-wheel driven car, doing launch control, it will just spin up its wheels and it will give a lot of tear and stuff to the gearbox, and that's not in my responsibility to do that, so I will not do that. And if you have a question, what is a 0 to 100, I don't care. No one cares. It's a front wheel driven car, so what does it do? I think it was yesterday or the day before, I got a request from someone, and maybe you're watching right now, so here's your answer. He has a Golf 6. It is already tuned somewhere else, but he was getting a lot of wheel spin. If we can fix it for him, well, just don't push the throttle that much, I would say, or fit better tires to your car. Or yes, indeed, you can limit the torque so that the car will reduce its wheel spin, but that doesn't make sense. You know, you want all the power, you can manage it yourself, but we as a tuner are not able to provide your car more grip. That's simply impossible. This is cool. The only thing is this shifter, you see, you don't hear it. So there's no click. The left side has a click, but the right side doesn't have a click. So you don't feel if you're shifting up. So that's something that he needs to fix. You like this road, don't you? This is what we did, like not giving it full torque at low RPM. I'm flooring it right now. It's now building up, third gear. It's now building up. At 4,000 it has full power, you see? Oh. So that means the car, the engine is stressing less. It is more fun and engaging to drive, especially when revving it high. And it just goes. Let's see if it has some wheel spin in second gear. Let me do that again. Second gear, uphill. Yeah, then it starts to spin a little bit, but in a moderate way. You saw that? So it has a little bit of wheel spin, but in a moderate way. Otherwise it would like spin as hell and then you don't have any traction. I like it like this. Especially when you're doing these kind of hardware upgrades to a car and then fitting these kind of brakes. Absolutely awesome job. Jelle, really, oh wait, let me go straight ahead. Really, you have a very, very nice car. Thank you for bringing your car to me, because I know you know me for a little bit of a longer time. You know what I do. And I hope you will enjoy this vehicle to its absolute maximum. Great, great piece of kit you have. So thank you all very much for watching. Also thank you Jelle, thank you for bringing your car to our shop and in having the trust, of course, in our tuning capabilities. I know you for a little longer time than one day. I really think you have an absolutely spot on car. I really do like the configuration, like what you all did to this vehicle. For all of those others, if you want to see the next video, of course, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye.